Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 5 of Yellow Wall India podcast, where we talk about Dortmund and we interact with a lot of Dortmund fans and members across the globe. So, today we have a very interesting guest, and I know a lot has happened in last week, in between the week where we hosted last time and the time which we are hosting today, and a lot of unexpected things happened, but some will say that it happened for good. It will be debatable, but we have a very interesting guest, female guest. I think so. It's the first female guest on our show, and we are very happy to have Sharvani from Nepal. She heads the Black and Yellow Nepal fan club, which is there, was established in 2014, and she handles the communication part as well for the club. And it's a very big honor, I'll say, and a very big privilege to have her with us. We'll have a lot of things to talk about, but before that, we'll talk with Shavani about her love for Dortmund.
Hi. I actually have. It's been 1 year since I've started following Borussia Dortmund like really um, strongly, and I feel such a nice connection with the club, and especially with the spirit that our club stands for. And my favorite player has to be Erling Braut Haaland. Like, who doesn't love him? He's been so good for our club, and hopefully we'll get to see him play again when he returns back from injury. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Who would not love Holland? I think so. Definitely, the impact which he had, it's been pretty big. And talking about impact, there was a pretty big impact, and a lot of things happened in between week, which we were talking about, starting from the Stuttgart game to sacking of Favre. So Stuttgart game is something which was really painful, and I think so. It was a tipping point, and was very big thing that club took a decision to sack Favre. What do you think? Were you expecting that after the game that club would take such a big call?
Yeah, I was expecting it actually because um, it's been 2 seasons he was our coach. He has managed to assemble our team really well. We have like such good players individually, but as a team, we were not able to win any trophies except for DFB Pokal. So lack of trophies was one of the reasons. Plus, we were losing our matches due to like silly reasons, technical reasons that could have been a lot better. Think like games that were in our side, we lost those games. Like those we could win very easily. We lost them due to small mistakes. So it was, and that was happening pretty frequently. So I think it was time for Favre to go.
Yeah, I agree. There were a lot of things there were a lot of hit and misses with Favre, and especially his commitment was something which could not be questioned, but his some of the things like substitution was something which was always on in question for his way of approaching. But yeah, I think so. Considering what all Favre did for club, I think so. It's pretty big thing, and he really stabled the boat for us, and it's a big thanks for him for that. I think so. He really made us competitive enough to challenge for the title within 2 years, and for also his years where he was the coach. I think so. We were challenging for the title, which was pretty big. And talking about Favre, we have a pretty interesting coach now with us. He lives, I think, so 40 minutes away from Dortmund, is what he said. And we then have two assistant coaches also who are born and brought up like close to Dortmund only. So, what do you think about the decision to have him as a new coach along with the assistant coach which we have now?
So Terzic is said in an interview he was a Dortmund fan since a young age. So he has that Dortmund spirit and he knows the team and he we can tell by the way he interacts with our players and the way he supports them from the pitch as well. Like he's so connected to them and he seems very close to our players and he seems to motivate them really well. And we could see the confidence that he had given the team against the last game, and the confidence of our team was really high. And I think the credit goes to Terzic.
Yeah, I think so. Marco Reus also told about the fact that he gave them the belief that they are a good team, and there was a change which you could see. What do you expect from him now? Like, he loves to play on high intensity, and what do you expect considering the games which we have and the breaks which we'll get and injuries above that? What do you think about the games and the upcoming proposition he has?
I definitely think we were lacking that high intensity pressing game, which Terzic will bring now. And the heavy metal football, I think it's coming back in our club. And the players that are in our club, I think they easily adapt to the pressing style of play, and it suits them really well. So I think we're going to do really well with that style of play now.
Yeah, I think so. We could see that against the Bremen game as well. Just coming to that to pitch in the Bremen game. What do you think about the game which we had? I think so. For me personally, it's been a very dicey game. When I had a privilege to go and watch Dortmund play live, it was the Bremen game last year, and Bremen has given us a lot of trouble, especially in the cup games where they had knocked us out as well. I consider them as a bogey team for us, but it was challenging, always would be challenging, considering that we didn't have even a lot of time for the new coach to settle in. So, what did you make up about the game?
The game was very interesting. You could like it could go any way, but the way we were playing, the football we were playing was really nice. Like it was really nice to see the way we were playing as a team. We were united in that game. Like all the players were helping each other in the passes. It was really coordinated, and I really liked um the emotions that I saw in the game. They were so confident and so happy with their win, and the smile on the players' faces after the game, like that gave me satisfaction that I was looking for a long time. In the game, the players that really stood out for me had to be Marco Reus and Rafael Guerrero. Like the way he rebounded the ball and hit it into the goalpost, like that man's a genius.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. He's one of the best left back now in the world, without any doubts. If anyone had, we already knew, being a Dortmund fan, I think so that he's pretty talented, and we are lucky to have him. But yeah, I agree with you with the fact that the emotions were pretty high, and you could see at the end that the relief as well as the joy which everyone had. Even after the first goal, you could see Sebastian Kehl also animated at the sideline. So as Dortmund said that everyone this will be handled together internally, and I think so. It's a good way as well. Zorc is also there on sideline with Kale to support, so definitely their inputs would be there for sure. And yeah, about the heavy metal football, I think so we'll see that now. But do you think it will be risky considering the injuries which we have, and also the calendar? If you see, the games are pretty tightly packed, and this much would definitely take up the strength and energy. You could see Bayern also now struggling with that because they also play a very high pressing game. Do you see that as an issue in coming time?
Oh, I definitely think it'll be an issue because the schedules are so tight, and especially our players like Emre Can and Thomas Delaney, like they're on full on when it comes to pressing, and if they get injured, like it's gonna be a very big disadvantage for our club. So we have to press, but in a limit. So that's what we have to do.
Yeah, I agree with you in that sense. I think so. After the first goal, you could see a difference that Dortmund wasn't pressing that much as they were at the beginning, and I think that is something which they have to be smart with. I still feel it's a bit tricky. It will be tricky considering the back line was totally depleted just few games earlier when we had some injury issues. So hopefully Hummels also get well soon and comes back quickly because he's important to us. And yeah, otherwise it's been pretty good. What do you make about Mukoko's debut as starting 11 for the first time?
I think he did a decent job. It was not one of his best performances, but you cannot put too much pressure on a 16-year-old who has just made his Bundesliga debut. So it was decent. He tried his best, but luck is not on your side always. So yeah, that's how it is.
Yeah, I think so. It will be a learning curve for him as well, just to learn, keep growing, and he has a lot of potential, which Marco Reus also told that he has to believe in himself and keep practicing, keep playing. That playing time will be actually very important for him. So would be pretty good. How was the reaction there in Nepal, by the way, when Favre, after the Stuttgart game and after the sacking of Favre? Because here, I think so. I think in India, after that 5-1 loss, I think so. The debates and everything which was discussed among the members, it was very high voltage, and yeah, you could see the emotions flaring high. And sacking of Favre, I think so. I wasn't expecting, honestly. I didn't know that club will sack him. So, how was it in Nepal with everyone there?
Honestly, we were shocked, but before that day, the day before, we actually discussed about making a petition to sack our current manager, and the next day he got sacked. So we were not expecting it, but it was funny. But
Yeah.
he had done his job, and now it was time for some other manager to take forward our club. So yeah, we were quite happy with the decision, honestly.
Yeah, I think so. It was a good coincidence that we were planning to sign a petition and the club took that decision. So it was a pretty interesting thing. But yeah, I think so. It will be interesting to see what happens now. How Dortmund pans this out, this decision. You never know if the coach which you have right now, if he's the one, because I think so. He's saying the right things right now, Terzic, and I think so he has the potential. But let's see how it happens, because he also has less experience. I think the no experience of managing a team head on. He's been assistant coach, but would be interesting to see for sure. So we'll have some questions for you. I think so. Considering a lot of things happened, the fans were animated, members were animated, and we have a lot of questions. Pretty interesting ones to talk about. So I'll start with one of it. Um, so Arun was asking. I think so. This is pretty interesting. I think so. Everyone will ask this question that do you still feel there is a chance of us winning the league considering where we are right now and what all has happened?
To be practical, on top of the league, I'm not sure, but definitely we can be on top three teams if we play really good. And if we continue our current form from last game, we can definitely be on top three.
Yeah, I think so. That's a fair point, and I agree with that. I think so. Even I'll say that I am also targeting top three, top four finish for now. Zod said that their sporting targets were getting hampered, and that's why they took this decision, even though it was a difficult one for them. But I think so. And now, don't think they'll give the new coach such a ambitious target. But yeah, top three is looking feasible. Will be challenging, but yeah, it should be done. I think so. We have a pretty good team to finish top three for sure. Next question which he asked was about Schalke. I think so. Schalke, considering the games which they are playing, I don't think so. We'll be having any derby. The coming derby would be the final one for at least next season as well. The way they are playing. But what do you think? Should there be joy that they are getting relegated, or should there be a fear that maybe we'll not be able to watch the derby if they get relegated? What do you feel?
Honestly, the fun of River Derby is like it's intense, you know. Like we are always very excited when it comes to Dortmund versus Schalke. So I wish they wouldn't get relegated, but seeing the current form, they will surely be so. I personally will miss the derby and the derby match feeling, you know.
Yeah, I think so. It's pretty odd to see Derby being played behind the closed door. I still remember the game which we had. It was pretty good at that time, but let's see how it happens. It would be a sad thing for sure. And then there is another question by Arun about the rating of More over Thomas for right back position. So, what do you think about that? I think so. Fullbacks are an issue, especially the right side. I think the Moraes also had pretty bad games now. So, what do you think about our situation there?
Thomas Munier definitely has more experience as a fullback, and has gotten more game time in PSG as well as BFB. But since he has been injured, we have seen More taking the position of a right back, and he has done a pretty nice job actually, in my opinion. Like Mateu has tried his best, you know. I've seen it in him, and Thomas. He actually is a pretty inconsistent player in my opinion. Some games he's good, but some games his form is like really bad. So compared to Mateu, Thomas has a bit shaky form. So I think I would prefer Mateu over Thomas Munier at this point of time.
That's interesting. I think so. I think so. The coach will also go with that. I think Thomas has just come back from his injury, so it'll be interesting to see how he plays. He had a pretty tough time, and I think so. We had discussed this earlier as well in the podcast about his form and expectations. So, would be interesting. What do you think about Paslak? Do you see him anywhere as a contender now?
Yeah, he definitely is. He has the fighting spirit, but his form is also not consistent enough. But definitely, he's one of the contenders. Maybe when our starting 11 player has to be subbed, Paslak can come in. But I don't see him as a starting 11 player.
Yeah, I think so. He still needs that. I think he had a pretty solid start against Bayern. Also, he was pretty good when we played there. So he had a good start. But all three of them, I think so, still have to prove about their situation. So would be interesting to see how it happens. So yeah, that would be nice thing if all of three works, and we will be spoiled for choices because fullback is something which we need to work on. So let's see how it happens definitely. So let's go to the next question which we have. Bhark is actually asking some interesting things he had observed, and I think so he's asking that what do you feel about the whole event which happened? Do you think that managerial change in the mid-season gonna affect us?
Definitely, it's a risky move, but I think it was a necessary move. And Terzic, he has been assistant coach of Borussia Dortmund for a long time, so he knows our club and the players. So I think he will do a decent job. It's a risk, but it's a risk we had to take it at this point.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you. It's something which was supposed to happen. I think so. I would have been happy it would have had it been happened at the beginning of the season. But mid season it is risky always. But would be interesting to see how we go. And I have faith in the club. So let's see how it goes. So Balaji is asking about the following up on the same thing that I hope this doesn't happen, but what if our new interim manager also fails?
See, there is always a risk, so you can't really tell if he's gonna do good job or bad job just by judging from one match. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and watch what Terzic has to bring to the table.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't happen, Balaji, because it would be a big thing. And I think the club has also said that everyone would be managing it internally now. So I think a lot of hands would be on the ground for this, and let's see how it goes. It would be interesting. So just following up on this, I think so he asked a follow-up question which he was asked. He's curious to know about the immediate steps that what do you think Bay for Bay Club as a club would do immediately just to fill in few of the things which may be required. What do you think are the things which should be sorted in this season, considering the transfers or any decisions, anything which you feel should be sorted?
I think we have to get a few players, but Zork has said we will not get any defender. I think he said that in an interview. So in January, summer transfers, we are not getting a defender, I guess, according to
Hmm.
him. And but I think we need a proper striker, like Erling Haaland when he's injured, like Mukoko cannot do all the responsibilities of a striker, he needs some rest as well, and he's
Yeah,
not experienced enough. He definitely needs game time, but we need a proper striker because using Julian Brandt or some other player as a false nine is not
yeah.
working well for us.
Yeah, I think so. It was very painful to see Brand as a striker, even Royce as a striker, where they aren't comfortable. I think the Hazard was also tried last season, but it didn't work. And I think so. You are right. That I think so. Defenders and a striker is something which is needed right now. I've been saying this for a long time that fullbacks. We need good fullbacks, and now we need a striker as well. And I hope some of the decisions are taken. What do you think? Is there any player which you feel maybe in the winter season may go or would be loaned out? Do you see anyone in between going out of the club?
I'm not really sure about that, but maybe we can send Paslak to another club as a loan so he can develop there and then come back. But other than that, I don't really see anything happening.
Yeah, I think so. He was given that option, but I don't think so. Any team was interested, maybe because of the COVID, and it didn't happen. But let's see. Talking about this, where do you see Mo right now? He's nowhere to be seen, and like there were memes coming out that there's a conspiracy to not play Mo at Dortmund. What do you see about Mo? Like, do you think he'll get a chance now under the new coach, especially that he also follows an aggressive approach?
And this is funny because I've not heard about this conspiracy, but Mo, in previous games, he has been really good. He had created so many chances for us, and he plays really aggressive football as well. So in the midfield, he had been one of the most creative players in our previous games, I think last month or so. And he actually has to be given more game time. Mo Dahoud deserves it, and I hope Terzic gives him the game time he deserves.
Yeah, I think so. He has been pretty good actually this season. Like it's pretty funny that people were supporting him a lot when I think so he wasn't given much playing time in last two seasons. But this season he has been playing pretty good, and there hasn't been anything much about Mo as a player, like where is he or support as such. But yeah, I think so. He has a one of the best passing rate as well right now in UCL. Was checking the stats, so I think so. He should be getting chance, especially in the coming game, with Delaney also coming back from injury. These two, I think so, would be pivotal for us. So let's see about that. So just coming to the new next game which we have, Union Berlin. What do you think about the game which is coming up? Because they gave a tough fight to Bayern as well. What do you think? And we are going away, so would be a challenging thing.
Union Berlin have been such a strong team this season. I was like shocked. They were like so good against Bayern as well. They almost won the game as well, but they drew at the end. Like they have been really good, and we have to be scared of Union Berlin, of course. But if we have the confidence in our team that we have right now, we can put up a good fight against them, no doubt. But we have to fear them, and we have to prepare really well against Union Berlin tomorrow.
Do you see the conspiracy of Mo coming to light tomorrow, or maybe he'll play tomorrow? Do you think he'll play?
I don't know. It depends on Terzic, but maybe we can like substitute Jude and Mo according to the situation. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Jude is still, I think so. Jude is still learning, and he did some mistakes in the Stuttgart game as well, which costed us a goal. And I think so he's also learning, and we shouldn't put a lot of pressure or put him under the lens that be critical on him. And also, you not give him so much pressure that he also may get injured. Hopefully, it doesn't happen. So yeah, Mo should be given a chance. What do you think about tomorrow's game? Do you think Dortmund will win? What's your prediction for that?
I mean, Union Berlin have been such a strong team. They've been so good. Even Bayern struggled against them. So I am hoping at least for a draw, but I would be more than happy if we win against them because we have the team that can win. It's just how we execute in the game.
Yeah, I think so. Berlin as a team, and especially at their home, has been difficult to face, and I think that they are near to us only, considering the standings. And if we win this game, I think so it will be giving us a good push to get back into top four. And I hope we do that. What's your prediction for this game?
My predictions, um, I think one to before we win. Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully 2-1. I think so. Yeah, I think so. I'll go with that only. I'll expect hopeful that Dortmund will win, and we'll get a good chance to build a momentum again, especially before the cup game also, which we have, and then a break. Going into break with a win would be fine. So I will finish with this question because it's Favre's theme-based podcast. Chaitanya had asked this question that who do you think would be our next manager? Who do you realistically think can take the Dortmund through in next year?
I've seen a lot of rumors about Rose, the Mönchengladbach manager, coming to our club. He has been really good for Mönchengladbach. They have qualified for the UCL
Yeah,
for the first time, so he has done a really good job with that team. And if he comes to our club, I think he's gonna do well as well. But if, in my opinion, if Terzic does a really good job in our club and wins us the DFB Pokal and takes us to the top three of Bundesliga and pretty far in the UCL, I think we should keep him as our
yeah.
permanent manager.
I think so. There has been, I agree. There has been a lot of news coming about Rose Mönchengladbach's manager going, and that I think so would be a natural choice. I think because he puts the on a lot of boxes. Considering what Dortmund wants, but yeah, this particular manager even I feel can be an exciting prospect. But I think so you would have also seen memes, a lot of memes about Bayern, how Bayern also turned out against the same situation and they sacked the manager and look where we turned out. So I think so there are those memes also floating. So yeah, it would be interesting to see how it happens. But other than that, do you see Pochettino coming to Dortmund?
Not really, no.
Yeah, I personally even I don't think so. Poch may be coming to Dortmund. There are a few reasons. I think so. One of them is that that's also a rumor that Dortmund prefers a German-speaking manager, but in case he comes, would be a big thing actually. So that would be a surprise for me as well. But let's see how it goes. So yeah. Thank you, Sharvani, for giving us the opportunity, and we had a fun discussing about Dortmund specifically during this time when a lot of things happened, and as if COVID wasn't enough, seeing our club going through this, it's just adding it up. So yeah, hopefully the year ends with a high, and let's hope to catch up soon again.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's really fun talking to you and, two BFB fans talking to each other, sharing each other's opinion. It's really fun. And I'm really glad you called me in this podcast. And I hope our team does really well, and we go on top three of the Bundesliga table and do well in UCL as well. Hey, yeah, BVB.
Yeah, would be a great thing to end the year like that. Thank you everyone for watching and for listening. For our next episode, stay tuned. You can always catch us up on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter as yellowwall_India. So yeah, thank you once again, and let's see you post this game discussing a lot about Dortmund. Thank you.